Hey there, what is up? The sun is out and it is almost spring. Time change just happened over the weekend. I wasn't crazy about losing an hour of sleep. I'm sure you weren't either, but bring on the longer periods of light. Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Okay, I'm just so excited. We just finished up the 5-day growth challenge inside my free Facebook group. You will hear how to join that in just a second. But what you're about to hear is a workshop that I did on the very first day, and it's about 5 ways to build community. If you're struggling to grow your audience, you need to hear this because I'm sharing the first thing you need to do, why your audience may not be engaging, what kinds of posts to share, and more. And by the way, like I said, if you're not a part of my Facebook group, you should be. Go search Authentic Instagram Engagement and request to join. Lots of great peeps in there, big community happenings going on. So go search Authentic Instagram Engagement and request to join. And now, listen in. Hey there, it's Ruthie from RuthieGray.mom, and welcome to Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy, your mom can do it. This is the podcast that teaches you how to authentically deliver your message in a non-pushy way. If you want to receive engagement and investment on your Insta time, listen in. And now, here's your host, me, Ruthie Gray. Here's how to grow your Instagram account. I have 5 main points that you need to keep in mind. The first point is to build community. In my community marketing framework, this is the biggest thing I teach, to build community. And there are 2 kinds of community to build. Okay, the first community is your colleagues, people that you work alongside of that maybe complement your brand and what you're doing. Not necessarily competition, but people that can complement them. It's important to make these connections in community. If you believe that, if you have seen that to be true, type in a 1 for me. It's important to have those colleagues. And here's why, because you can network with them on Instagram, like for instance, go live or be in like a share pod or just share each other's posts, and you can grow your community that way. You can grow your reach and you can grow your own community within of your followers. And that's the second kind of community that you want to build. Of course, you want to grow your following, but to grow your community of followers, you need a community of colleagues. You want like-minded people. That's one of the reasons why I stressed when you entered the group to introduce yourself and say what you do, and then connect with some people and follow some people that would complement or be your avatar for your community. So there's no reason to reach out and do follows that are for people that aren't going to be complementary to your community. They're just going to unfollow. So you have to nail down your avatar. You need to know exactly who it is you're serving. If you haven't gotten that far yet, you really need to back up and think about that. Get clear and focus on who it is you're exactly trying to serve. Like I especially target women that are in their 40s and up. They're around my age. They're business women, or they have a book they're trying to grow a platform for, or they're podcasters, or they have a business, their own business that they're trying to grow. And they're just trying to understand Instagram. So you'll see that I do a lot of posts that aren't necessarily connected to my product, but that are about empty nest stage or midlife or joking about it or grandparent stage or things like that. I share things like that in stories and in posts on the regular because that is my target market. The people that come that aren't in that specific age group still love me, and it's okay. It's okay that you get those outer fringe people, but you want to know exactly who you're talking to. So you need to focus on that. You need to hang out where those people hang out. And most of all, you need to be unique. You need to let your own personality shine through so that you can connect with the people that get you. People that follow me, my super fans, they get my sense of humor. They listen to my podcast, Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy, your mom can do it. They know that randomly on the podcast, I'll break out in song, and they like stuff like that. So I'm just different because I'm me, and you're different because you're you. So what you want to do is figure out how you can capitalize on what makes you different. Okay. So let's talk about this community. And we're still on number one, build community. The two types of community are colleagues and followers. So let's talk about follow for follows and follow trains for a second. Now, I touched on this today in episode 33. Go listen to it on the Instagram Insider Hacks podcast and make sure you're subscribed to that because they're just short trainings every week, short episodes every week that will help you kind of piece together how to make sense of Instagram. And today I talk about how do you get followers and should you be buying followers and what about follow trains? I think follow trains have their place, but I don't think long-term they have their place. And if you get on a follow train, usually it's very large and it takes all your time and most people will unfollow unless it is very small and niched. I don't advise follow trains or follow for follow because you want the people to stay around. If you get me there, if you feel this, type in a number 2. You got to have people that are like-minded following you. Dig into this group, dig into the like-minded people that look like your avatar or your colleagues, okay? And then the other way that you build community is by engaging. You have to spend time on the app. And that brings us to number 2, engage. All right? Now, I'm just going to pop over in the Facebook group and just see, okay, I see some 1s, I see some 2s. There's my friend Pat, there's Diana. Yeah. So we gotta dig in and connect with those people. So number 2, engage. You cannot simply just post your content and expect the masses to come. That's not how it works on Instagram. It's not. Instagram is a social media network platform, and that's what it was intended for. And Instagram knows when you post and ghost. They just know. So what you need to do is engage with community, engage with the people that you're meeting in here, engage with your existing followers. And the best way to do that is to hang out on the app for 10 to 15 minutes, leaving value comments on existing follower accounts, more than just love it or great post. Really dig in there and say, hey, I remember when I went through this period of time, or this verse really speaks to me. Another verse that's my favorite is XYZ. Really think about it. Take the time to answer those comments because that does 2 things. Number 1, it gets you on the radar of the person that you commented on. Number two, it draws attention to your comment from other people who may not know you, who decide to come in and comment on that person on their account. So what you want to do is really present yourself as an authentic person who is here to engage with other people. And so that's how you do it. So you engage with people 10 to 15 minutes before posting and hang out. And then once you post, then those people a lot of times will come over and reciprocate. And the reason that's important is because Instagram feeds that engagement. When they see that people are engaged on your account and you've engaged on others, they promote your post, they push it out so other people can see it and you can get more exposure and hopefully some new followers. The other thing is you need to start reaching out to new people, people that seem like your avatar. And that goes back to number one, where you are really honing down. You're focused on your avatar and you know the people, you know what their likes and dislikes are. You go and find those people. You kind of hang out in those hashtag hubs and you just kind of do research. Like if your target market really likes Magnolia, that whole Chip and Johanna thing, then you want to go look for those kind of hashtags and find those kind of people. People that don't have like super large audiences, but that seem like they're your target market. And then, follow them, connect with them, leave some value comments, engage. So this is all under number two, engage. Follow people here in your target market and go find people in your target market. Here's number three, use video. If you really want to gain followers and you've already gotten clear on your message, you know what it is you're giving, then you want to use video. There are 4 platforms for video. You've got the stories, and everybody knows that follows me for any length of time that I think you should be sharing stories from your daily life daily, like at least 5 days a week. And so you start practicing with video and stories. You can like tape up yourself talking on stories for 15 seconds. They're only 15-second frames. And you can delete it, if you don't like it. And you can just keep taping until you get it right. And that's how you practice getting on video, is through stories. And then you want to do IGTVs. They don't have to be long, but they need to be your content needs to be valuable. So it needs to be either entertaining or encouraging or educational. So try to do some of that in IGTVs. Then you've got Reels. Reels are 15-second or 30-second blurbs that can just get your message out there really fast. I don't advocate just standing there and dancing. I don't think that gives value unless you're like super good dancer. This kind of thing, people are not going to love. Okay. So give some value or announce that you're going live or teach something really quick on a video, on a reel, and drive traffic to your stories or your feed posts. But you need to be using video. And then the big one, besides Reels, which is super big and Instagram likes to push out, so that gives you more exposure. But the big one is going live. And even better is going live with a friend, a colleague, a cohort, something like that complements you. I have a lot of people in my insider network, my intensive, that go live together. They are accountable to each other and they are cross-promoting their content, which is growing their audience and giving them more exposure. Because when you go live with a friend, that friend, all of their people are notified that she is live, and all of your people are notified that you're live. And then you just cross pollinate, and you always end up with new followers that way, because there is an element of video that gives an added layer. It's better than just a stagnant, flat feed post. People don't get to know you through a feed post that shows your product or just a stock photo. People get to know you through video. And that's how you gain that know, like, and trust factor that starts to develop the super fans. Get on video. That is number 3. And then number 4, post regularly and consistently. Okay. Now, I have noticed 2 things that everyone struggles with. So when you entered this group, you had to answer 3 questions, or you should have. Number 1, who invited you? Number 2, what's your biggest struggle with Instagram? And number 3, what's your goal? So many of you said your biggest struggle, there's 2 top in struggles. Engagement is 1, and then posting consistently is the other. You must post consistently, because if you waffle back and forth, then you lose traction. That's one thing that I really love about my Insider Intensive, which, by the way, the doors are going to open soon. Be watching this week, because we're going to give a special announcement about doors opening again soon. But we become accountable to each other to post. Once you're in a network like that, you know that people are depending on you to post. You want to share something in the share thread, the weekly share thread, or you know that your followers are looking for your next, maybe it's an IGTV. Maybe if you're doing a series of IGTVs, then like it's an educational series on, let's say, organizing your kitchen in 5 videos. So every Monday you drop that video. Well, people are going to be watching for that. And so if you get sort of like a schedule to your content, then you will be consistent. And the best thing that I can recommend for that is a scheduler. And my scheduler that I use is later.com. So you just upload, and there's a free version. So I used later.com for a whole month before I ever invested in, like, I had to pay $19 a month for a link in bio. But you can get for free, I think you can still get a link that will sit there with a few free links. So the thing is, if you upload your content there and you schedule it out, let's say you sit down on at the end of the month for the next month. And let's say you're just going to post 3 times a week, which, by the way, you don't need to post like 5 to 10 times a week. You don't need to post twice a day. 3 to 4 times a week is plenty. 5 is the most you really need to do. You don't have to work yourself silly to post, when really some of that time you should be using and putting back in engagement. Because I guarantee if you're not getting engagement that you want, it's because you're spending too much time posting and not enough time engaging back on number 2. So get consistent, get accountable, think about delivering value, and get in a rhythm. Maybe you have a theme of the month, or, like I said, an IGTV series. So if you really want to gain traction, you must be consistent. Because if you do that for, say, 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you just fall off, your people are going to forget about you. You've got to ride that wave of consistency. If that makes sense to you and you believe that to be true, drop me a 3 in the comments. All right. Now, I'm going to just check over here in the Facebook group to see If there's any, okay, Rebecca says she posts 2 to 3 times a week. That's good. And Haley was reiterating what I said. Your content needs to be entertaining, encouraging, or educational. Suzanne was posting a 3. We got all kinds of comments in here. Okay, great. I love the comments. I'm not able to see all of the comments. So if there are some questions right off the bat, Haley will have to shoot them over to me because I can see in real time the comments, but not all the comments. Okay, so that was number 3 or number 4, and I see a bunch of 3s there where you're what I'm saying is resonating with you. Okay, here's number 5. Number 5 way to grow your following is craft a killer bio. When people land on your site, they want to know what's in it for me. They don't care if you're a wife, a mom, a dog mom, a cat mom, a monkey mom. You like to pick flowers and you wear clothes from Loft. They don't care about that. What they care about is, what are you going to offer them? So maybe it's a freebie of, like one of my members has a freebie of 3 ways to tie a scarf because she's in the beauty industry. Maybe you're in the organizational field or planner, or how to pick 10 things you should look for in a planner. You need to be offering something over there that points to your freebie, first of all, and to your newsletter. Because I know all of you want the click over. That's what we want, right? So drop me, what are we on now? Drop me a 4 if you want the click over. Let me see. Are there any 4s there? People want the click over, because let me tell you something. People are not going to click over off of Instagram unless it is really, 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 really good. Whatever you're offering has to be really good, has to resonate with your audience. People have to almost be salivating for it. Like, for instance, my freebie is my 7-day Instagram story challenge. And they get a quick win every day. And they meet me in the DM. And that's something else you could do, is a challenge where people meet you in the DM, like they have to tag you. That's how they meet me. Or they send me their first story, like they learn how to create a color picture in stories. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Every day there's a quick win. You could do a challenge like that. And then you tell them, either send you the photo or tag you, even better, tag you. Because this is how I gain exposure all the time. This is how I grow followers all the time, is because by the end of that 7-day challenge, people know how to make their color photo. They know how to use GIFs. They know how to change their fonts. They know how to use the basics of stories, and they have tagged me. And within the newsletter, the challenge email, it says right there, one of the days is, I'm having so much fun with this story challenge. Want to join me? Follow Ruthie Gray. They have to tag me. And then more people, it's like a beautiful thing that just creates ripples. And you can do this too with your freebie, with your challenge on your killer bio. And so I see a lot of 4s there. Y'all are seeing that you want the click over. But the first thing you got to do is deliver that value and be consistent. Okay. So crafting a killer bio means that you tell what's in it for them. You can tell them why you're there, what you're doing to help them out so that they can XYZ. And then you are pointing them to your freebie. And then that is how you're driving traffic to eventually, really be responsive to you. And there you have it. The 5 ways to grow your Instagram audience is by focusing on the 2 types of community, spending time engaging, mixing up the various forms of video available to you, or 2 to 3 on Instagram, consistency in posting, and focusing on serving your people well through a killer bio. What's in it for them? That's what they want to know. Next week, you'll hear why I didn't succeed at Instagram until I'd been on the app a few years, and what I advise you not to do that I did, and 7 things that have worked for me on Instagram. And I know they'll work for you too. And I just want to say that if you're struggling with all those thoughts in your head and what to do here and how to do this there and strategy questions, and you'd like to get feedback, targeted strategies, and access to my content marketing framework, doors just opened again for my 12-week Insider Intensive. If you're looking for a community of colleagues dedicated to collaboration, community support, and masterminding, as well as strategic input from an Instagram authority, that's me, why not check it out? You'll find all the details inside the Authentic Instagram Engagement Facebook group. So go search it on Facebook and request to join. We're waiting for you.